kind of a hard thing to answer in short, because last year a lot of things went really well in the race, and it's kind of hard when things kind of go how you expect and how you hope. And you're like, what did you learn? And it's like, well, I learned that what I do is what I've been doing is the right thing. But I think, I don't know, a big thing I learned since last year, kind of reviewing last year's race, is that I need to only worry about like what I can control. Last year it was like, oh, my pacer keeps going slow, and I keep passing him saying he's speed up, and then he said like he didn't listen to me, and I was like, okay, I guess like I'll just sit behind you, and eventually after 10K I'm like, alright, like you keep slowing down. So I passed him and he dropped out actually at 10K. But I learned, okay, I need to work on what I can control and not get caught up on, okay, my pace was slow, I'm gonna, now I'm gonna hammer the next 3 miles or so, because I just hammered it a little bit mid-race, and I shouldn't have, because it was so early on.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. So I had a 3-mile stretch in like the 14:20, like about 14:20s. That I ran in the race, and I was like, okay, that's too quick. And it brought me, brought me back to the pace I wanted to be on for my finish, but it was also like, it wasn't the conservative way to go, so we needed to be a little more conservative.
You talked a lot about how quickly those early miles go. I mean, do you intend on employing kind of a more conservative pace off the gun tomorrow? Is that what you were kind of getting at?
Yeah, because I felt like and this is more the Boston Marathon a few months or 6 months ago, but I really wanted to be conservative in that race, but then it was like, oh, like, our first mile was fast, but it's just the first mile, and then it was like, all right, second mile's fast, like third mile's fast, and I kept being like, do I slow down? And I kept thinking about it, and then it was like, I decided to slow down, and then it ended up being the mile I decided to slow down, the whole pack slowed down, and so I was like, well, I might as well stay with the pack then on, and it just kind of led to me going out too hard and getting caught up in the moment, so I'm really trying to, like I said, control what I can control, which is my own pace, how I take the tangents, but not worry about those around me.
I know we'll have Ed on, and I know Ed was kind of like, it's hard when Ed's watching, and, this is all happening like in front of him, and I know he was impressed by what you came out with to start, but that was something where, he was waiting patiently to see what was going to happen as a whole. What did you guys talk about after that race? Because he's observing the whole time, watching the broadcast.
He was very encouraging after that race. He was very much like, what he wanted me to do was enjoy the moment, and I was so focused on, let's get to another marathon, and I was like, let's jump in one in 6 weeks or something, and he's like, that's a terrible idea. You don't understand how long it takes to actually recover from a marathon, and now I've had to learn that. But I was like, let's jump in something else, because I love racing, and I was like, I'm fit. But he just kind of, was like, celebrate and live in the moment, I didn't talk to him too much after the race. Talked to him a little bit, and then it was wedding preparations. And my wife had really done all of that, but it was like a lot of wedding prep. And so when I did eventually talk to him like a week after the race, or 2 weeks after, it was like, okay, let's not jump in anything too quick. And I wanted to race at Valencia or CIM or something else, because I just wanted to run another marathon.
When did you actually start to kind of prepare in earnest after you got married and all that? This one or for the next race?
For the next race? Mm-hmm. I jumped in a workout with Jared Ward probably 10, 11 days after the marathon last year. Ed wasn't there, and I know if he would have been there.
Think he would have tackled you?
He would have stopped me for sure. And I ran that workout really fast, but I think it was really bad in the long term. But it was great for the short term. I was like, I am so fit, but I guess maybe it's bad for the short term.
Yeah. So then, we know you're not going to run again on Monday, but do you actually have like your rest planned after this?
Yeah, so I'll probably run a little bit Monday. We go for like a short run on Monday morning just to kind of like flush.
Shake out.
Yeah. Shake out, but my wife has been really wanting to go on a bunch of hikes with me, and I've been so exhausted from marathon training. We've gone on like 30, but it's hard when you do 100 or 120 miles a week. Like the last thing you want to do the night before your long run is a hike. You're like, but
that's understandable.
So we're gonna go on hikes from Tuesday to Saturday.
Makes sense. When you start that, when you wake up on Sunday morning, where do you find the confidence to just go out there and run 26.2 miles?
It really comes in those first few miles.
Yeah.
I think the marathon, when you peak for it, you feel kind of like groggy and slow, but then the moment you start, like you feel that first mile and you're like, like that mile felt so like easy and slow. I probably went out too easy, and then you see it's too fast, and you're like, dang, I went out too fast. Then you're like, oh yeah, like you just it says those miles go on, and then it's like, oh, I'm at 2 miles now, I'm at 3 miles, oh, I'm at 8, 9, 10 miles. And it just comes like a snap of a finger.
Yeah, and obviously we're less than a year away from the Olympics. How much is that goal in your head?
Oh, I really feel like the Olympic Games are kind of like the real focus every 4 years. Like everything I'm doing for this marathon in preparation and everything, like I am focused on this marathon 100% right now. But like when I plan everything out, it was like Chicago is to prep me for the Olympic trials, which is to help me make the Olympic team. It's like, and then everything comes at the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, I kind of see my training as a 4-year process. It's like every race is meant to help me prepare for the Olympic trials and then the Olympic Games.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Connor. It's good to see you. Congratulations on it.
Connor, you talked a lot about what happens after the race, how you're going to kind of unwind. We're around 48 hours to the race. The city is buzzing. There's a lot of excitement. How do you kind of shut down the nerves and kind of get yourself prepared? Obviously, the hay is in the barn, but what can you do right now until race time to kind of help further prepare yourself?
I really just try and not think about it too much. I've thought about it so much in training. So I made my decisions early, like what am I going to eat the morning of the race? What am I going to do for my warm-up? I've made those decisions, but also just kind of being relaxed if that plan doesn't go exactly like how I want it. But I think, to keep those nerves pretty calm is just relaxing. Playing Angry Birds on my phone or something just so mind-numbing. Coach Diljit Taylor gave me a 500-piece puzzle, and so I was working on that last night just to kind of keep the mind moving but not stressed.
I'll get you out on one more. In conversations with some of the other competitors, kind of a common theme was how great the crowd is here in Chicago, just how inspiring they are to the elite athletes, but all the general athletes alike. Talk a little bit about what they offer you, and especially supporting their hometown kind of Americans. What's that dynamic like?
Oh, it's huge. I really liked the crowd last year. Boston's, you can't really compare it to Boston, but what's nice about this crowd is you have people moving the whole time, and so you might see the same person multiple times, and like you can hear exactly what people are saying. And so it's like it's constant. So it's a nice crowd because you constantly are seeing people, and they're constantly telling you like, "Good job, hey," or "Hey, the person ahead of you is fading," or "You're on this pace," or something. So it's a really nice crowd because you can hear people the whole way.
Well, good luck conquering that puzzle, keeping your mind on things the next couple of days. Can't wait to watch you compete on Sunday. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.